I am Eleanor Hawkins. I am a diplomate in small animal internal medicine and president of the American College of Veterinary Internal Medicine. The mission of our college is to enhance animal and human health by advancing veterinary internal medicine through training, education, and discovery. We're here this morning to honor amazing animal survivors that beat the odds because of these advances in veterinary medicine. With the help of their owners, general practitioners, and ACVIM board-certified specialists, these animals overcame life-threatening illnesses to lead a healthy life once again.
We are doing amazing things in cancer medicine here, and it's not about just curing cancer with an animal that's not feeling well and their quality of life isn't good. Our animals live so short compared to our lives that if the cancer's dying but the pet isn't feeling well, we'll change the protocol. It's all about quality of life, and it's not putting them through anything, because we as veterinarians took an oath to really preserve the quality of animal life. But the amazing results and research being discussed here at the ACVIM Forum, along with financial support, including from the ACVIM Foundation, when pet owners themselves are saying, I want my animal's legacy, my dog's legacy, to live on after he succumbs from cancer by helping other dogs through giving to something like the ACVIM Foundation is so important.
January of '08, he had presented to his family veterinarian for lethargy, and then they found this mass in his abdomen on x-ray, and then went to ultrasound and found the mass more defined near his stomach. Initial therapy was just surgical removal of the mass, but the diagnosis was soft tissue sarcoma, and we know with those tumors, if you don't have a very big wide margin around them, they're going to come back. And so the most appropriate course we felt was to move on to do some chemotherapy. And we did chemotherapy for Josh, and I'll show you some of the drugs we used. He fared pretty well with that. Again, Al will kind of describe his quality of life. But he did start to have some recurrences, but they were kind of one at a time. One of them was in the area of the original surgery, one was in the liver, one was on his subcutaneous tissue, and even one in the lung. And so each time those came up, gradually over these past 2.5 years, we removed that solitary site and then did a little more medical therapy to try and keep it from coming back or slow it down.
And I walked into the hospital, I walked up to the front desk, and I said, I'm here to see Josh Bailiff. And they said, we'll bring him down. And I said, you just had surgery about 17 hours ago. Wouldn't it be easier if I went up to see him? And they said, we'll bring him down. So as I was walking away from the front desk and heading towards the waiting room, about 5 minutes later, I heard this door bang, and I heard this commotion. So I got up and looked around the corner. Here comes Josh, running at full speed, pulling the technician, who was barely able to hold on to his leash. And at that point, I knew Josh wasn't planning on spending a lot of time in recovery. He was interested in doing other things.
Emma was 6 years old. The diagnosis, lymphoma, a cancer of the lymph system that's quite common in dogs and cats and very similar to non-Hodgkin's disease in people. Treating dogs and cats with cancer is quite different than treating people, in that 85% of dogs and 95% of cats have no side effects associated with the treatment. Most people want to know why that is. Well, psychologically, our pets are not impacted by the knowledge that they have cancer or by the thought that they will get sick. So psychologically, they're in much better shape than we are, and they don't have their heads to screw them up the way we do.
Dr. Rosenberg, patient explained Emma's diagnosis and what her prognosis was. I can tell you I only remember one thing. Average lifespan after diagnosis was 8 to 10 months with chemotherapy. It will be 8 years in August since Emma was first diagnosed with lymphoma. I know I've been extremely lucky with her. During those years, I've lost several other cats and dogs to various diseases, including Emma's best friend, Willie, who died 2.5 years ago, also of lymphoma. However, it was not just luck that got us there. We owe our deepest gratitude to Dr. Rosenberg and to all the specialists we've seen over the years, which I believe have been every specialty except dermatology. She would not be here without all of you, and believe me when I tell you, my world at least would be a lot less bright if she wasn't.
Tessa is a dock dog. For those of you not familiar with that activity, dogs jump as far as they can after a bumper, a rubber marine bumper, not the car kind, because that might be pretty hazardous to their health, into a long swimming pool. I learned about this sport when Tessa's sibling, Kadeen, was a patient of mine being treated for prostate cancer. In fact, as we talked about, with animals not getting sick from chemotherapy, Kadeen had his personal best jump while he was undergoing chemo. The network of Dog people is really amazing and is very supportive of the ACVIM Foundation with their Chase Away Canine Cancer organization, which raises money to try to find new cures for cancer. As Tessa is handled all the time and fetches constantly, the owners noted a mass in her mouth in January 2008. Not much of a new year, especially having lost Kadeen to cancer almost 2 years to the day prior. Tessa was taken to her vet immediately, and surgery was scheduled. The biopsy came back as squamous cell carcinoma, the same kind of cancer that tobacco chewers commonly get. Not all of the tumor was surgically removed. In most cases, if this cancer has not metastasized, the outcome with local therapy is often excellent.
To have a second dog be diagnosed with cancer, I thought, this is just not possible. Lightning is striking twice. I mean, there had to be some sort of mistake. She was jumping out of the pool, she was healthy, she was strong, she didn't look sick, she wasn't acting sick. She couldn't have cancer, she's only 4 years old. And I thought, I can't watch my dog go through this again, can't watch another dog die. But what we found out through the ACVIM Foundation's Chase Away Canine Cancer campaign is 1 in 3 dogs get cancer. And I'm 2 for 2, but still, the number to me is just staggering. And for dogs over 10, it's half. It's an unbelievable statistic.
Her diagnosis was leishmaniasis. So these are leishmania mastigotes, as they're called, within her bone marrow. And she has a form of leishmania called visceral leishmaniasis or disseminated leishmaniasis, which is actually a quite rare diagnosis for the United States. If you lived in the Mediterranean or in Italy, this would be much more common to see. A few other areas around the world, Africa, we're seeing more of it in the U.S., but in San Diego, California, where we're from, I was not even aware of a case ever being seen in San Diego. Leishmaniasis is a condition that we generally don't feel we can cure, but we can control.
For us, as a family, we got Missy from the pound when she was probably 2 to 3 years old. It's hard to tell how old she was. You just kind of have to go by what they tell you. And I have to say that she chose us, really. You know, you get this opportunity, you kind of pick a dog, they tell you, come back in 2 weeks. We were second in line. Somebody else had chosen her before us. They luckily didn't show. And when we met her, she just had this focused look at you like, okay, I'm your dog. So we took her home, and she's just been, you know, great with the rest of us for the whole time we've had her. She's enriched our lives incredibly.
Jitterbug was particularly special because Jitterbug did not find another home. Jitterbug ended up staying with Marianne. The first thing that I remember most about the day that I met Jitterbug was that even though her hind limbs didn't work, her tail worked like mad. And she didn't seem to realize that she was paralyzed or had a problem. But of course, we know as animals that they can't really be functional pets like we would like them to be and have the quality of life we would like them to have if they can't walk. In neurology, one of the most common problems we see are animals that can't walk, and unfortunately a lot of people do not realize that it's actually a condition that potentially has a very good prognosis with the proper treatment.
She's never lost her little bubbly personality and what I call jitter joy that she brings to people all over the area. We visit hospitals and assisted living facilities, and she does her little sit-ups in her paws and everything else and rolls over for belly rubs. And the ones who are not as alert, she will just go up next to them, curl up, and do what she's doing right now and pretty much go to sleep. And it amazes me that they, better than us, have a way of just knowing what's appropriate and what's right.
Thank you to my colleagues in the American College of Veterinary Internal Medicine for bringing your wonderful clients in, telling the stories of their not only animal survivors, but truly animal thrivers. They're just amazing stories, even for those of us in the profession, what an amazing life that they lead.